Yo, what's up YouTube family? It's your main man Koozie back at you with another hot TikTok reaction video. Don't forget these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Don't believe anything you hear or see in these videos. Don't believe anything that I say in these videos. Always use your own discernment and always do your own research. With that said, let's get right to the content.
Lyran starseeds are higher dimensional souls who are originally a guardian extraterrestrial race that are blue-skinned feline hominids, or cat people, called the Anuhazi, similar to aliens in the movie Avatar. It is the Anuhazi who were seeded 950 billion years ago by the blue flame Elohai in the 12th dimension on planet Armentana in the Lyra star system, and are considered the original Christos founders race. The Great Sphinx in Egypt is a tribute to these Anuhazi Lyran starseeds, with the body of a lion and the head of a human. This is a literal connection to how humans have evolved out of the Lyran Anuhazi lineage. It is the primary gene code that was used to create the human form. The Lyran starseed Anuhazi are also affiliated with the lion people alien race called the Leonine when they came down or stepped down from their Anuhazi Christos template.
Hey y'all, go show some love to ChristosAvatar.com. Thanks for the content. Let's get it. Let me know what y'all think about this. Have y'all heard of the Lyrans or not? Let me know down below in the comment section. Let's get it.
Feline beings usually had pronounced eyes, dainty mouths, and were extremely strong and agile. The feline Lyrans are an extremely loving and peaceful race of ETs, and they lived in perfect harmony for many years on their home planet until the Great Galactic War between them and the reptilians. Many lives were lost in this war, and their home planet was destroyed in the process. Many Lyrans did flee from their home planet, while others were reincarnated and redistributed as energy into different star systems like the Pleiades, the Orions, the Vega star system, and the Andromeda. Lyrans now exist from anywhere from the 4th to 12th dimensions. Lyrans first came to Earth about 22 million years ago, bringing the element of fire with them. Alright, so I'm back with part 3. It's said that they returned to Earth in 15,000 BC to assist in the development of mankind. They then created the pyramids. It's said that the Lyrans created the pyramids as a portal to go back to their home constellation of Lyra. We all know Egyptians held cats to a very high standard. The punishment for harming one could lead to death. They even worshipped the goddess Bastet, who had a cat-like head. Bastet was the daughter of Ra, who was said to have a bird-like head. Sound familiar? So what if some of the gods and goddesses that ancient Egyptians worshipped were actually extraterrestrial beings that came down to help aid in the ascension of humanity? I guess the mystery will always remain. As a Lyran starseed, you may be extremely bold, confident, may even have Leo in your charts, extremely adventurous, fearful of nothing. You may sleep a lot, you may be clumsy, you may have a deep and strong connection to cats, you may be trustworthy or had a past life on Lemuria or Atlantis. You also may embody extremely masculine energy.
A pull to old magic and metaphysics.
Hold up now. We can't just go past that about the pyramids, man. We all know that they have hieroglyphics of cat-like beings in the pyramids. Is it possible that that could be true, that the Lyrans are the ones who, built the pyramids? I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section.
Attraction to the element of fire, old souls with strong intuition. The Lyrans are considered the original keepers of ancient knowledge. Lyran starseeds are highly intelligent, evolved beings hailing from the planet Vega, the brightest planet within the Lyra constellation. Very few first-generation Lyrans exist today. It's mostly descendants of their bloodline. The original Lyran energy was largely wiped out during the Lyran War. Many of these starseeds will feel a strong connection with the term old soul. Overall, these are generally beings who love Earth, history, and being human. Lyran starseeds are often ones who trust the flow of life.
Hey man, I got to let y'all know this is gonna be a long video and it's gonna be a 2-part series. So first we're gonna do the Lyrans and then we're gonna do the reptilians. This whole video series is the Lyrans versus the reptilians, or the Dracos. Let's get it, because it's definitely gonna be good.
my experiences with some of the Lyran humanoid species of cat-like beings tend to show me that this species is very interested in sports, in movement, in dynamic art forms, in battles, but battles for growth and learning and show.
Y'all, I'm sorry, but if y'all hear any noise in the background, it's the rain, man. It's been storming over here, raining hard for like the last couple of days. So bear with me, y'all, please.
But also have a level of peacefulness and reservedness where there's a contemplation about the understandings of the unfoldings of the archetypes in time, for example, and awareness that there is cultural narratives and cycles that repeat themselves over history. The cat-like beings I think we experience here on Earth, even as house cats, can carry both this vicious intensity, but also this deeply gentle sweetness. And I find that that's true of almost all the feline races that I've encountered.
These beings were known to be fierce fighters. They actually played a huge role in trying to defend Lyra against the attacks of Draco. I think there would have been more casualties in Lyra and Vega if it hadn't been for the fighting abilities of these cat beings, you know. They were quite fearsome, and they had, I think, skills that enabled them to take down a lot of Draconians in hand-to-hand combat. The Draconians, although they're quite fearsome in themselves, are no match for the cat beings. They love to express themselves physically. Because of their influence in the sense of protection and the sense of fighting abilities, I think this is a reason why they remain connected with the Galactic Federation, where they lend...
Oh man, don't let that go over your heads. How many of y'all out there heard of the Galactic Federation? Let me know down below in the comment section.
Their fighting skills and their physical abilities in order to help other star systems to evolve in these areas where we can learn how to protect ourselves, where we can learn how to have, I would say, a high level of ethics, a high level of integrity, but still be excellent fighters, still have those defense skills that are going to help us to get from the level that we are now to the next level.
Pretty interesting. Let me know what y'all think.
Do you think these people that designed the pyramids, the designers of pyramids, that they would just sit there and just draw motherfucker half god, half lion head for no reason? If they didn't see these beings, you think they was just painting shit on the wall, nigga? They just finger painting, huh? Now they just simple-minded beings. They just finger painting. No, they was vibrating even higher. You see how big them statues is over there in Egypt? That's how big they was when they made the statues. That's why the statues that big.
Makes sense.
The tallest we would get was up to 150 feet.
So on Friday, this guy found this humongous footprint of a human. Right now, they're only telling us they found 88 fossilized prints belonging to adults and children dating back to over 12,000 years ago. They said you can get certain evidence from this information that you can't get other ways, including how large these people were. These are our people, you guys.
Well,
what if I told you that the cartoon we all know as the Thundercats was actually based on a real ancient cosmic war that took place between the Lyrans and the Draco reptilians? Lyrans are cat-like extraterrestrials. They actually depicted them all through the hieroglyphics in ancient Kemet. The ancient Kemetic goddess Sekhmet was actually from the Lyran constellation. Kemetic goddess Bastet is also from the Lyran constellation. Here's a depiction of the Lyrans. This is an extraterrestrial feline race, okay, from the constellation of Lyra. All right, now they are pretty much agreeable, meaning that they're benevolent beings. We got along with these beings. Bastet was actually married to Enki, or they also referred to him as Ptah. We all know Mumra was their main villain, okay? And if you look at the emblem on his chest, it's a two-headed serpent facing each other, basically. It's a personification of reptilian chaos energy. These were their primary villains, okay? They were reptilians. We all know the Draconians are basically tyrants, all right? They're very
Man, I grew up in the 90s watching that show. How am I just now putting that together, man? See what I mean? They always put it in the cartoons and the movies, man. That's crazy.
Tyrannical race. Their objective is basically to create war and chaos. For those that aren't aware of who the Lyrans are, some say that these beings actually created the Elohim. It was referred to as the Lyran Syrian High Council, all right? And their job was they overseeing the Syrians that seeded the 12-strand DNAs on the 5D planet Terra. Again, the Lyran Syrian High Council was basically in charge of hosting the seeding of 12-strand genetics on the planet. All of one was basically the personification of what's called the Christic ideology. So in perspective, this was a war of consciousness. This is a war between the Christ and the Antichrist. Christ meaning love and service to others, and Antichrist basically just meaning service to self. But Antichrist, basically in perspective, means a tyrannical mindset just in service to self and opposed to the collective conscious joining for love for others. Because these beings' objective is to basically oppress the law of one or go against the law of one, they basically are willing to mind control you to bend you to their will. They'll basically strip you of your free will. A lot of us think we are operating under our own accord, when most of the time it's MK Ultra, it's different things that are being induced in our neurophysiology to basically make us basically they're puppet mastering everyone, all right, through different technology and a lot of different chemicals and things of that nature, just to basically bend you to their will. Been depicted it in Thundercats. Mumra was a mummified mystic. He used mind control and a lot of different tactics to get the Thundercats to go against each other, to basically get them off point and things of that nature. Mumra used a lot of mind control tactics and mind games. This is the same thing that's going on currently with the Draco Reptilians. They use MK Ultra. They use a lot of mind games to basically pull you away from who you truly are. This is why in Thundercats they also showed us the importance of the third eye and seeing through the illusion. When Lionel picked up the Sword of Omens and he put it right here and he said, "Give me sight beyond sight," it opened that pineal gland up, and that's the representation of the pineal gland and seeing through the illusion. He was able to see through all Mumra's magic, all his illusions. Okay, the fourth wall he put up to create that illusion, that pineal gland will break it down. This is why I stress the importance of getting your lion's mane mushroom or ginkgo biloba to decalcify your pineal gland and regenerate damaged brain cells. I also highly recommend getting your blue lotus and mugwort leaf for accessing transcendental states of consciousness. These herbs are great for lucid dreaming as well as astral projection. I do have all high quality herbs, elixirs, and metaphysical products for spiritual exploration available on Holistic Remedies for Ascension. For those who never seen this cartoon, or probably those who never seen it in years, you know what I'm saying? I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up on cartoons like this. Go watch it again. It's a lot of gems in there. Peace, love, and light to everyone.
Man, for sure, man. Y'all go show his channel some love, man. I appreciate you for the content, man. How many out there grew up watching this here, the Thundercats, growing up in the 90s or before? You know what I'm saying? Let me know down below in the comment section, because that's a definitely must go watch again, because they were dropping gems for sure, for sure.
Starseed, let's go. I need to talk to y'all. My video got deleted, and that's how I know that I'm right, and like TikTok does not want this out and about. I don't know if it got reported. It got reported for fucking adult nudity, which I did not have at all in it, not whatsoever. It was really stupid. But Lyrans, the Australian government, the Australian CIA released documents saying that in 1970 they made contact with alien creatures that were dwarf creatures. They called them dwarf aliens. And then also Lyran aliens have been found. They call them cat-like beings, guys. This is what they look like. This has just been released. These are what they look like. This is the picture I posted. They tried to say there was nudity in it. I need you guys to wake up. I need you guys to wake up. I need my starseeds to wake up. If you need starseed reading, book with me. It is time to realize that half of us are not even from here. They knew in 1975 that there were other civilizations. They have talked to these beings. They contact on their UFOs. That's what the document says. It says that there was a UFO sightings. They investigated, and then they came upon contact with Lyran beings. Cat beings is what they call them, which are the Lyrans. Now, Lyrans have been depicted in ancient Egyptian work for centuries. You'll see big cat beings and hieroglyphics, etc. Wake up. And also, Christians, what is your explanation for this? I personally would love to know. But you guys cannot keep saying that it's demons and that we're lying and the government's come on. Wake up. And it's also, it's not a coincidence our governments are releasing this. It's not. And then TikTok takes my video down. I need my starseeds to realize, if you need help waking up or you think that you're a starseed, again, book a reading with me. I will tell you where you come from. Half of us are probably Lyran. Ancient civilization, ancient Lemuria, one of the first here. Like, it is time. Like, ascension has already happened. The 5D is already here. Like, it's 2021. Aliens have been proven real. Mermaids and fairies. Documents on all of them. Nothing is what we thought it was. That or we switched dimensions, because in 2012, I could have never believed this was going to happen. It's time to wake up. I need to talk to starseeds. I need my starseeds to find me. Like, I don't know if we're necessarily going to be going home or if we're going to be meeting our star families, but most of y'all been like, oh my god, I made contact with my ancestors. Most of y'all are talking to aliens and don't know it. Just saying. Literally, your ancestors
She mean demons.
are aliens. Like,
Hey, man. I don't know nothing about them readings, man. I know that ain't, you know what I'm saying? I know that's considered witchcraft. But hey, man, all I know about Australia, the down under. Say, man, Mumsy Trip, I need you to, hey, let me know what's going on down there about these Lyrans, these Lyran people, you know what I'm saying? These Lyran beings. Are they walking around down there? You know, let me know what's up, girl. Come on now, y'all, let's get it. Let me know what y'all think about that clip down below in the comment section. Let's go.
Do you really believe our ancestors spent time drawing pictures of humans, if you want to call them that, walking with motherfucking lion heads? You believe the same people that constructed these pyramids took their fucking time to waste their time just drawing some shit on the wall if it ain't had no meaning? There's a group of advanced civilized beings, and they are on our side. They the good guys. They on our team. Very, very powerful. They look just like us, but they have the head of a female lioness. So imagine a lion without all the man. And their women have these heads as well as their males on their planet. And if you go look at Egypt, you'll see hella pyramids constructed to these beings, or hella drawings of these beings on walls.
Y'all gotta get used to seeing animals mixed with gods, cause that's gonna come soon for y'all to see again. Like, you see it when you look at ancient Kemet. You see it with the Anubis and these different, but you thinking they just designs. But these Kemet, like I say, these people are looked at as the most advanced beings amongst your civilization down here. But they are not. It get way more advanced than that. But what I'm saying is the ancient Kemet, do you think these people that designed the pyramids, the designers of pyramids, that they would just sit there and just draw motherfucker half god, half lion head for no reason? If they didn't see these beings, you think they was just painting shit on the wall, nigga? They just finger painting, huh? Now they just simple-minded beings. They just finger painting. No, they was vibrating even higher. You see how big them statues is over there in Egypt? That's how big they was when they made the statues. That's why the statues that big. The tallest we would get was up to 150 feet. We was huge. We was on higher frequencies, higher dimensions, fam. Higher frequency, higher dimensions, family. Facts, nigga. Facts, nigga. It is a magical realm. And I'm trying to tell you that, like, listen, family, you have no clue what you have been deprived of. If you could only see how the world was before 1492, y'all will tear this bitch up right now if you only knew what you have been reduced down to. Like, down here on this planet, the pyramids is one of the greatest inventions that they talk about. But the pyramids is nothing compared to what, if you only knew what y'all have done. Your ancestors, you all have accomplished so much. I'm talking to all my black and Latino people that's watching right now. Gods and goddesses, youth, old, whatever. Y'all don't know what y'all is. You have accomplished so fucking much. You have done so much. Them pyramids ain't shit. With all due respect, them pyramids ain't shit compared to what we have done. Like I said, we created everything, right? And you don't know that. You're oppressors, and they don't want you to know that.
Man, that's why. How many out there believe the metaphysical and the mystical creatures could be real? Let me know down below in the comment section. Give me a yes, no, or maybe so. Koozie. Let me know in the comment section right now. Right now.
We are learning that through these teachings, your true identity. And the Lyrans in this system were coming from the 12th dimension. If you follow this ring, this sphere all the way around, you'll see what your universe is called hydroplasm. It's pre-matter, before you actually get matter, you could say. It's called liquid light, crystal liquid body. Okay, and that's where you find the Lyran blue skin felines. The Sphinx is a hybrid. It's got a lion body, feline body, with a human face. hominid humanoid hybrid. And the Sphinx is testimony, witness to that. The Sphinx was built by the Lyrans. Realized it was part of the councils. It was a Syrian council that created and designed the pyramids and the original Giza plateau, the Sphinx and all of it. The Sphinx is actually covering the portal.
Don't know how they got in there again. Look at these. You can see the faces of
I'm making a video
Lyrans.
teaching you about an ET
You can see the faces of Lyrans and reptilians in that
species, the ET species known as the Lyrans. Let me know if you want to learn about more ET species, but I'm talking about this one because this is the one that I identify with in my starseed origins. So there are Lyran felines and there are Lyran avians. And there were also Lyrans that looked more humanoid because a lot of ET species originated as ethereal beings without a physical form. So when they chose to go into a physical form, they had a little bit of leeway on what they could look like, and some just chose to have more humanoid features instead of cat-like and avian features. But Lyrans in the ethereal plane resembled cats, so that's why they chose to incarnate it as cat-like beings. But anyways, their knowledge is said to have contributed to Atlantis and Lemuria, as well as the element of fire. I personally fucking resonate with Lemuria, so I might talk about that another time, but they come from a number of planets that are linked with the Lyra star system. They now exist in several different galaxies and thousands of different planets and dimensions all the way up to the 9th dimension. Just like what I was saying, ancient humanoids are very human-like in appearance, although many of them have cat-like features and air about them. Others have more bird-like features, avians. You can see Egyptian gods with cat faces, and Egyptian gods with bird faces. And declassified fucking Australian UFO documents talking about coming into contact with aliens with cat faces.
Mumsy Trip, they talking about the down under again. I need you to let me know what's going on down there. Come on now.
Anyways, Lyrans are very adventurous and not fearful of the unknown. They do not really have a fear of change. Lyrans have a very deep understanding of the fucking transient nature of physical reality based on their ancient wisdom, which makes it so that they do not fear change. Because they understand how reality works. As in, they know change is necessary. When a Lyran is put into a position, by the way, where they can't be independent and they're unhappy, they exhibit traits the opposite of what a Lyran typically is like, by the way. A lot of Lyrans understand that fear is part of life, but you can either choose to let it govern you, or you could use it as a fuel to push forward. Because Lyrans are very connected with their masculine energy. They are very hardworking people, and that means that they can easily excel at work, but it also means that they are more prone to burn out. I know a lot about that because I have the fucking ADHD label. A lot of Lyrans feel that they have a purpose and they pursue it fearlessly. They might not even know what their fucking purpose is, but they fucking feel strongly that they have one, you know? Lyrans are natural leaders just like Pleiadian starseeds because they're cousins. Lyrans fucking love space, bruh. And they're problem solvers. And they sense an underlying truth in art. Here, you can read this if you want, but look, they also believe in human potential. Lyran people are very self-assured people. And here is a prominent thing about them. They really don't like authority figures. Lyrans are typically quiet and reserved, too. Lyrans are also very compassionate people. Their happiness isn't typically too dependent on external situations. And they're very independent and love animals. Have a beautiful...
Hey, so you ended up here, so obviously you think the aliens are real, because they are, of course, right?
But did you know that there's many that are actually trying to help us? In movies, they're often depicted as something that we should be scared of that want to destroy our planet.
And for some, that's true. But not all. Talk about Lyrans, the lion people. Lyrans are a humanoid with a cat head, and they came from the Leo constellation. They were 12-dimensional beings. Sadly, their galaxy got destroyed, and they were redistributed as energy into other galaxies, including Earth. It is said that the Lyrans actually built the Egyptian pyramids. Theory is wrong, and the Lyrans actually built the pyramids in 15,000 BC. Explain why the Egyptians worshipped these cat humanoids. Putting Sephmet herself, who actually wasn't a goddess, she was an alien trying to help humans. The Lyrans actually used the pyramids as a portal to go back to the Leo constellation.
This Sphinx was a carving of a lion.
I guess we'll never know.
Shout out to Sanella Estrella, man. Great breakdown. That's crazy. She fun.
There was two separate human races or humanoid races that were created. So there was the white or Caucasian Lyrans, that were very tall beings. They looked a little bit more Nordic, maybe. Those beings were more Father God consciousness oriented. So they had more of a push forward energy, more physical energy. The blue Vega beings were more of a Mother Goddess consciousness orientation. So those beings, even though they were highly technical, had more interest in reflection and spirituality. Kind of what happened with the whole Lyra story is kind of a lesson for a lot of us, I think. It's easy to fall into complacency and naivety when everything is going well. You know, when everything is going well, it's easy just to kind of take it for granted and to not be consciously aware of what's happening around us. That's the Lyran story. People with Lyran, heritage, these are people that feel very connected to the land. They love a simpler lifestyle. A lot of them tend to, if they do healing work, they tend more towards herbology or naturopathic medicine. Anything
empathetic?
Yeah, very empathetic. Yeah, I would say so. But their downside is the naivety, the tendency to be, they're attracted to relationships that are not for their best interest. Even with Lyrans I work with today, a lot of them get into very unhealthy relationships until they get very well integrated. After they do the inner work, there's a sense of incompleteness within them because they lost their star system. So they have this feeling of, I can never go back home again. It was in the beginning stages, so that's why they were so interested in draconian technology. And they didn't have quite the weaponry or, some of the sophistication of the, draconian ships. But my understanding with Avalon, the planet Avalon, was that most of the fleet headed to the Pleiades. With Avion, they decided to do things differently. So
Man, where these people getting these stories from, man? That's my only question. Shit.
Saw the mistakes that Avalon made, and they thought, okay, we need to survive. So it was all about survival at that point. So we're going to split up our fleet. Some of us are going to head to Sirius, some of us are going to head to Andromeda, and some of us will head to the Pleiades and other systems. And there was actually many more systems. I'm just kind of using that as a general frame of reference. Trying to create some sense of peace and, maybe an outreach to some of the different groups in Orion. And this took quite a few years, so it wasn't like an overnight thing. I mean, this took, Orion has been in conflict for millions of years. The Galactic Federation, from what I saw, helped to bring about, and I think it was a collaborative effort between the Orion groups and the Orion Light Council, which is actually based out of Orion Nebula, and also some of the Galactic Federations, the Pleiadians, Sirians, all of them. They ended up creating a sense of peace and unity throughout the Orion system. So Orion has become, I think, one of the newest members of the Galactic Federation.
Okay.
But then there was dark factions in the Orion system that didn't necessarily want to be part of the light. So they had to look for new frontiers, for new frontiers, designed to be a living library. It was supposed to be a planet where they were taking genetics from all kinds of different star systems and combining them into one planet to see what would happen. So what would happen if we put in all these different genetics from this star system or that star system or whatever star system. But what people don't realize is actually the human race were a composite of 22 different star races, at least, but it could be more than that. These are beings that were visiting Earth long before Atlantis and Lemuria. Atlantis and Lemuria was just another experiment. So you had beings that were coming from Andromeda, beings that were coming from Sirius, beings that were coming from Arcturus or the Pleiades, and all of them, because of their physicality was different, they used their genetics to combine and create this new composite human race. And so you had all kinds of different skin tones because where these beings were come from, they came from very different physical realities and physical environments, so
it would adapt certain colors of skin to those environments.
Right, exactly. So maybe you had red beings that came from Antares, or you had blue beings that came from Andromeda, or light blue skin that came from Sirius, so So all of those are going to play a part in what humans ended up looking like. Orion was probably the most diverse star system in our galaxy as far as the different types of beings, because it was such a huge constellation. It's huge. I mean, it's a big constellation. So you had beings that were inhabiting these different star systems within the Orion system that came from Draco, or came from Zeta Reticuli, or came from Procyon, or Lyra and Vega. Probably more of a Vega influence on Orion as far as humanoids, but there was insectoid beings that also lived in Orion. So you had this like melting pot of all these different races, and so there was constant wars and turf battles over Orion. Kind of the draconians and the tall grays and the short grays, the small grays that influenced most of the outlier stars in the Orion constellation. And then you had the belt stars. So you had the belt stars that was mostly maybe humanoid oriented. So they were more the freedom fighters. They were more like what I call the good zone. Then you had the empire zone. So these two factions were constantly in battle with each other. Because Orion was, definitely a duality consciousness type of star system, this occurred for millions and millions of years. Orion didn't get shifted into the light until fairly recently. Their evolution started 1 million years ago. So 1 million years ago, they were struggling with a lot of the same issues that we have here on Earth. Maybe not quite to the extreme that we see here on Earth. So the Pleiades is a star cluster, and there's quite a few different stars, and each of these stars have their own civilization, their own culture. So under the umbrella of the Pleiadian, unification. But there was also a split in the Pleiades where I think the Pleiadians, because they were trying to heal from the wounds of their ancestors, most of their ancestors were, Lyran refugees. And so they dealt with trauma signatures within their own genetics, and they became ultra focused on the light, and didn't know how to integrate the darkness within them, which created the split of your positive Pleiadians and your more rogue Pleiadians. So a lot of people have this misconception that Pleiadians are all good. Not necessarily. They may look beautiful, but they're not all good. There's some rogue ones, and some of the rogue Pleiadians ended up joining forces with Orion. That's a whole other story. So there was this split, and then they had to find their way back towards integration, which is kind of what we're seeing here on Earth right now.
You're a galactic historian.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
What is that?
I know, it was actually not something I didn't come up with myself. I was always getting information, I was starting to get downloads of information from, I think from the Akashic Records on galactic wars, galactic events, different star systems, different star beings.
Sure.
And also astronomy, and I never studied any of this stuff before. And so I was just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And somebody dubbed me a galactic historian, and it kind of stuck, But a galactic historian is somebody who follows the history of the entire galactic realm, not just here on Earth.
Woo! Man, that was deep. Y'all think she knows what she talking about? Or she just jibber jabbing talking about a galactic historian? How you gonna know about all that stuff if we live in a firmament? Is she part of the problem? Was she speaking truth? Y'all let me know down below in the comment section. And if y'all made it this far and y'all liking the video and y'all want to see more, especially part 2 of this, the Lyrans versus reptilians, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop some new hot content. And y'all definitely don't want to miss part 2. Man, it's your boy Koozie, back at you with another hot one, and I'm out, man. Catch you next video.